LGBTQIA+ is a relatively new concept, whilst ancient Greece perished homosexuality secretly for centuries and made it their unique entertainment to boost their self-dom. Their lavish and lascivious lifestyle has drawn them towards keeping slaves that could satisfy their saturated sexual desires. A unique selection system had been adopted to continually accept male concubines. This video will quench our thirst for knowing how these male concubines were treated, chosen regardless of not getting formal acceptance. So keep watching until the very end. In ancient Greece, the concept of male concubines existed. However, they were less common and less well documented than their female counterparts. Then why did they exist? There is yet to be a certain answer regarding that. Elite males kept younger boys/males called catamites just to satiate their amativeness. In that pederastic relationship, younger males were stated as Eromemos, who served as companions and sexual partners for older, wealthier men, known as Erastes. Now, not every younger male had the advantage of becoming the fancy object of the elites. Very few had the privileges, and the initial criteria of that selection process were that the younger male had to be extremely good-looking, with delicate features. They also sought charm and grace in younger males to balance out the companionship. Usually, Eromemos were chosen from the ranks of free-born adolescent boys or young men who belonged to lower social classes and may have been seeking financial support or protection from reliable sources like Erastes. Some Eromenoi were obtained through personal connections or social networks. Now, not all the Eromenoi had consent, some were bought as slaves, and in ancient Greece, slaves were mere objects to submission that had no power and status. Although it was pederastic, the relationship between the Erastes and Eromemos somehow followed a form of mentorship and was bound by a set of social customs and expectations. The Erastes would provide financial support, education, and guidance to the Eromemos in exchange for Eromemos' companionship and sexual favors. Even though the relationship was expected to be temporary, there have been exceptional cases where the Erastes broke the rules just to maintain their homosexual relationship with the Eromemos. Status. In ancient Greek society, homosexuality was generally accepted as they considered partners' contributions to sexual acts rather than on gender. Somehow it became an educational practice in certain city-states, particularly in Athens. Erastes was claimed to act as a mentor and guide for the Eromemos, teaching Eromemos about politics, philosophy, and other aspects of adult life. Even though homosexuality was accepted, they were only practiced in secretly hiding from society, as it was difficult to generalize the attitudes of all individuals within the community, as there may have been variations in acceptance and cultural norms based on factors such as class, region, and personal beliefs. So they never had lights on their relationship. Lifestyle. Erastes typically preferred to keep their male concubines closer to them so that they could provide them with financial support and other privileges. Eromemos often enjoyed a higher standard of living compared to their peers, as they had access to education, fine clothing, and luxurious amenities. They were expected to be well-mannered and educated, as they acted as companions to their Erastes and were often engaged in intellectual discussions and cultural activities. With Erastes' favoritism, they gained special privileges to develop connections that could provide opportunities for their protection when they would run out of good luck. Hardships. While the Eromenoi enjoyed certain benefits in their relationships with Erastes, they were also subject to potential hardships and vulnerabilities. Their status as concubines meant they depended on the goodwill and protection of their Erastes. The vulnerability of their position as concubines could expose them to potential mistreatment or abuse, depending on the behavior and character of their Erastes. If the relationship somehow ended or their Erastes abandoned them, they could face uncertain futures and potential destitution. They did not have any place in society, so survival was a big challenge for them while encountering social stigmatization or judgments. There had been several events when Erastes traded them like objects to gain benefits. During the companionship, some were castrated and dressed as females to agitate their keepers' desires. But later, laws were reformed and stopped the castration process, considering it immoral. but there have been several examples of men wearing female clothes to represent neutrality. In ancient Greece, there was a story that a nymph fell for a man, and so it requested gods to merge their bodies as a single entity, and from there on, hermaphrodite came. Male concubines history made us think about how it was adopted in the very first place, regardless of having so much complexity. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. To get more enthralling stories like that, do subscribe and keep your eyes on our channel. Thanks for watching.